Hey guys, and welcome to podcast number 40.
Part 2.
Part 2. We attempted podcast number 40 a couple of weeks back. Kind of fell to shit. So we're attempting it again.
Return of the middle-aged podcast.
It's our middle-aged crisis happening twice.
Midlife crisis.
For males.
Yeah.
The 80 mark. For those of you watching on YouTube, usual reminder, please check out some of our other content. Let us know what you think. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you're on iTunes, if you're on SoundCloud, leave some reviews, leave some comments. Let us know what you think. And Discord. We are on Discord.
We are on
Jump on Discord. Just yell at Carl. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do.
All the links will be in the description for all the various things you can reach and interact further in the community.
Absolutely. Cool. So let us get into the swing of things. Very quick introductions. Way to my left, we have with us Ryan.
Yo.
First time returning quite some time. You've been a little bit absent.
I'd say about 2 months or a month and a half.
Shit.
Maybe.
God damn.
Making his glorious return
Glorious
like the golden
return.
phoenix.
rising from the
From the
ashes.
midlife crisis.
You're rising from the ashes just in time for the midlife crisis.
That's it. That's it.
Perfect time.
It's been so long since I've touched you inappropriately.
I feel like you do that very frequently.
Yeah, but
No, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Only on camera.
All right.
What happens on
Mr.
camera?
Inappropriate Touchy Ben.
Hello.
Directly to my left, Adam.
What's up?
And I am hosting Benjamin Lawal.
Hello,
Glorious
hosting Benjamin
host.
the
You're
Wild.
hosting Benjamin
I'm
Lawal?
hosting, like, I'm
You've
a
absorbed his
parasite. I'm
soul.
a parasite. I've taken over his body.
Then isn't he
Then you
hosting
know he's
you?
dead.
I'm hosting, okay, yeah. So
So
Benjamin Lawal is the parasite. in
Ben's a
this
parasite. 2018 confirmed. All right, good job. We're done here.
Are you like a Yerg?
Yes.
That is
Oh,
a reference.
jeez, that is an Animorphs reference.
That's
I'm
right.
glad we're in the room that everyone got that very weird
I-
reference.
from
I
Ben.
didn't get
Oh
it.
my god, Animorphs, man.
What the fuck is Animorphs?
Best book slash
series,
show
TV show.
of our childhood.
Whatever you reckon, Prince Jake. Anyway.
I would say
Adam, Ben is just so lost right now. She's like, help me.
Oh my god.
All right. Let's get into the swing of things. We can start with Ryan.
Sure.
Anything worth shouting out?
There's plenty of worth shouting out, but none
mostly.
of it really. Exactly.
And,
Most of it not gaming related. A bit of personal news.
Can you believe we have lives outside of gaming?
I know.
You guys
right?
have lives outside of gaming?
Crazy.
I know. Yeah, but big news for me is I bought a house.
Ooh, homeowner.
Homeowner. Let the bears pay the bear tax. I pay the homer tax.
Jesus. The funny thing is as well, we should clarify this is you are not a millionaire.
No. I am very, very, very much in debt.
Crushing debt in the Sydney housing market.
30 years of debt.
Well, mortgage does mean death grip, so...
It does.
Cool.
But
very,
yeah.
very, very cool. Can't
Very
wait
cool.
to see it.
Very,
So,
congratulations.
That's all still happening at the moment, so I don't have the keys in hand yet.
Party at
but-
Ryan's when he gets the keys in hand.
And when he does, I'll, like, paint you a picture of my most beloved work.
Is it just dictation?
Yes.
Okay.
He'll paint you a mural.
Don't worry
Do you have a feature? Do you have a feature wall or anything like that?
Yeah,
I'm mural now.
you got to think about like the interior design and the
Feng
decoration.
shui.
That's it. That's it.
See, now I just want to give you tasteful nudes.
Of you?
Yes.
There's no such thing.
There's a top hat.
Tasteful and nudes and Ben do not mix.
There's a top hat, there's a bow tie, there's cuffs, and nothing else. It's majestic.
I like how he trusted his crotch when he said top hat. He's like, top hat, bow tie, and handcuffs.
Well, where else would the top hat be?
It's got a little string tied to the top of the penis. It's just like, he's fancy.
Moving right along.
He's the head of the class.
Gaming wise, I've just been playing Fallout when I have the time, which is not often. But yeah, that's been good and good. I didn't end up installing some mods, so I've decided to go down that train, and they've
The
been
dark
really helpful.
path.
I ended up having to basically debug one of the mods because I was like, what the fuck is going wrong with this? And turns out that installing this mod enables something which makes building stuff really freaking hard
Right.
because it won't like nothing will.
Was it hard as in difficult or not work?
As in like so if you wanted to place something on something else that wasn't ground,
Yeah.
it just wouldn't recognize it as a solid surface.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. So I had to unfortunately disable that mod, which is unfortunate. But
Get your shit together.
get your shit together. Well, yeah. When I
Community.
looked it up, it's like yeah, this mod kind of needs to do that too.
Hardworking mod community. Fuck you.
We hate your free shit.
It's funny you say that because a lot of the mods, like I was actually thinking about this the other day, right? When it comes to like mods and modding community, like it's starting to become more accepted. Games are starting to like officially support
mods,
right? And you got like things like the PlayStation's thing or
PlayStation
Xbox,
Store have mods,
and even Steam now has like official supported mods. But the mods that they like put up there, I don't know if you've noticed, but
garbage.
Well, no, they're not garbage, but they're very vanilla.
Yeah,
Like they're just like
the official ones or just in general?
like the ones
that
by the mod community that gets authorized as like we give this the official tick of approval of the game.
Yeah, so it's like
I feel like there's
a
reason to that.
new weapon, like or an armor skin, or a buildable toilet or something like that, right? Like something that's small and doesn't really like you never see like the unofficial DLC like style ones with the new story and the new area.
The thing is because that's still eating into the potential profits.
At the risk of getting
again,
into
you
the
don't see
modding
any-
conversation for the 20th time on our podcast.
The modding. God, yeah, we love talking about that shit.
But I do think there's a reason behind why it's the vanilla ones that get across. The more complicated the mod is, the harder it is for them to be like, yeah, no, this is cool.
So,
anyway, let's not mod.
one question.
Yes.
How long until you install the Everything is Randy Savage mod?
That's the thing.
Oh my god, my sweet summer child.
You can enlighten him post-cast.
like there's a Dark Souls mod where everything is pizza.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
can show you a world.
I liked the there was a video or a GIF or something of like one in Skyrim where the rain was turned into trains, and so trains were just falling out of the sky.
Wow.
It's
Okay, let's carry on. We are talking too much mods, guys. Ben, anything worth calling out? Not mods. Don't you dare. I will cut you.
Mine's more of on the physical modding scene. So I got this sweet tattoo. No, I spent most of yesterday moving 3 very large CRTs around my bedroom, so it feels like my upper torso has been hit by a truck.
CRT televisions, for those that don't know. And for some reason, there is a lot of people that don't know what CRT means.
It's because we're all old.
It's because CRTs are old as all hell.
Yeah.
And nobody uses them anymore.
So it was wonderful. It was beautiful. I connected the Xbox in, got Halo working on it. There's pictures on the Discord about it. It looked magnificent. And then suddenly everything fucking stopped working. So cue there. I was like, I was 2 hours in at that time. 4 hours later, everything is still broken. My room's covered in dust, and
that is the golden question. We've been discussing it on Discord while you guys were just recording. Then, like,
I have no idea.
The thing that's weird is that it happened for both his one and Carl's one.
Yeah.
Right. So we all got the same PVM,
Broadcast
TV. And it's similar to what happened to mine.
Well, maybe they're just old and they just died.
That's very much an option.
Very much a possibility.
Fuck.
But
It just seems kind of odd. They all
at the same time.
happened at the same time.
well, yeah, and could be one set of components from
The guy that
The
sold
or-
it to them gave him a kill switch. It's just like, these sucker just put...
3 months and I'll fucking kill them all.
So other than that, I'm about 60% through writing a piece, which I hopefully will turn into a show for the channel.
Cool.
We'll see.
Awesome.
I'll send you guys that. I made Ben read some of my work earlier today, and he cried because it was very long-winded.
It was a long read. Interesting, though. I'll give him that.
Was
It wasn't
about
interesting.
mods?
We shouldn't put it up there. Oh, God.
It was awful.
I wasn't going to say that on the channel, but...
You're welcome to do it. Criticize me, baby.
Anyway.
And other than that, I've been trying to get Van Helsing working because, fuck it. Why not? Screw you guys if you don't like Hugh Jackman. He's
Who
God
doesn't
sent.
like Hugh
I
Jackman?
don't like. I actually like that
Jacked
movie,
man.
but that's probably different.
It is a fantastic movie, not because of Hugh Jackman.
Actually,
it's a good movie. You like that movie because Kate Beckinsale.
Hell,
Which, so I did try and get one of my previous partners to watch Van Helsing. She got 5 minutes in, and it's like, "Fuck, am I watching?" And I'm like, "Come on, this movie's great. It's dumb. It's fun.
It's from the mystical age of where people were trying to figure out how like superhero-esque kind of movies work, and not really knowing how to do a movie like that, because they're just like, do we make it gritty or camp? And it like flips between both just randomly, and you're like, the movie doesn't have any context or feel behind it.
It is not cohesive.
Because they don't know how to make a movie like this yet. They're just like, I don't. To be honest though, when we're talking about Universal monsters like Dracula and Frankenstein,
werewolves.
you know, I would argue that people still don't know how to make those movies now. The Mummy is a great example of being like, we could get Tom Cruise and just see how it goes. Like, I don't really know.
See,
fucking throwing darts at the wall at this point. We really don't know.
I still haven't seen
Netflix,
The Mummy.
There's a movie on Netflix called I, Frankenstein.
It's so bad.
I'm terrified to watch it.
You know,
I've seen it.
So it was Dracula Untold and then I, Frankenstein were the two movies.
I, Frankenstein's
that
not Universal.
I think it is.
No, it shouldn't be.
Pretty sure
That's
it is.
too low. Well, Frankenstein's copyright free.
No,
So-
it's...
yeah, it is.
Anyway.
But yeah, there are some interesting things of like them trying to kick off their own universe with those early movies.
Yeah.
And they felt so fucking miserably. They're like, no, redo. The Mummy starts it. And then like the movie, it's all right. And you're like, can we redo this again? Can we just reboot it? Fuck our plans. Like,
The reaction to the new Mummy kind of reminded me of the reaction to Artifact, like Valve's Artifact.
oh!
Well, that's the thing. It's like the Mummy. Yes, that's part of the new trilogy.
Starring Tom Cruise. Great. So, I, Frankenstein is done in Australia and is hopscotch. So, fuck you and your inaccurate knowledge.
Okay.
And it's not worth watching, which is why you should watch it.
Sure.
I saw it and I'm like, oh man.
Honestly, like
This
a
is
lot
really
of
bad.
a lot of those sort of movies where they're either retelling an old story or that sort of stuff. It doesn't seem like a lot of them hit the mark.
Okay, so let me pitch you the I, Frankenstein storyline. Right, so Frankenstein makes Frankenstein's monster.
Yes.
Cool. We'll just call him Frankenstein for now. Make
Because-
life easier.
Yep.
And
Alright.
then it turns into Nickelodeon's iCarly.
There's a bunch of demons that are trying to capture Frankenstein so they can re-summon all the fallen demons from hell to Earth using Frankenstein's unknown power. Cool, right? What?
Sure.
Okay, so luckily, God has sent an army of gargoyles which turn into human, like they transform between a stone skin and a gargoyle and like a human form to fight the demons, and they're both fighting over whether or not this has happened. Somewhere up the line, they pick up a human doctor who wants to carry on Dr. Frankenstein's work.
That this sounds like alphabet soup in movie form.
It's like
It sounds like explain a movie poorly, except that's the actual.
It's like
explanation.
it's like the Whose Line Is It Anyway Mad Libs of like movie telling. You're like, I don't know, and then gargoyles come. I
And
don't
then
know.
this thing happened. And then
Then
this
there's a
thing
doctor,
happened.
and then they want to do this, and then there's like gun, and then there's like a date. You're like, why are we going angels and demons on a fucking monster movie?
why are we going gargoyles and demons? What? The coolest part about it is he does get a blessed stick, basically. They're like
that a
"Don't-"
euphemism
no,
for
no,
his penis?
as in let him choose between all these weapons, and then he's like, "I'll take the very large blunt stick," and they're like, "Don't use that. It's large and unwieldy." He's like, "I'm a fucking monster. I do what I want," and then he goes wanders the earth for like 3 centuries.
Cool.
It's
Sounds so bad.
it's dumb.
You've convinced me to not watch it.
Good.
Thank you.
This is why I watch these films. I carry the burden for you.
So I have a modding story.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I'm talking about how the only thing I've done of note this week is I modded my stomach lining with Hot Wings.
That was embarrassing.
Went so well.
It was fantastic.
It was fun, right? That was a great night.
I enjoyed that.
That was a good night. So we all went out to like this Hot Wings place that I fucking love. And I was like, oh, I've been here before. I'll take all you guys. No one else has been here. Let's go out. and get. Oh, might as well plug them. It's called Wings and Tins.
Wings and Tins.
Darlinghurst.
And then
So
Darlinghurst, and they're awesome. If you like wings, the thing is, they have really hot wings, as well. We're all allowed to explain, but the bulk of their wings are like a little spicy. They're spicy enough, but they're so tasty. They're awesome.
Like
they're
the Chipotle
amazing.
barbecue ones. Oh my god!
Everyone has favorites. Their own personal. My favorites is a different one than Alfie's, but they do some amazing sauces. And they do some really good beers as well. If you're into like beer,
Their dark beer section is all right, I guess.
So the story, what happened is they have this thing, Ryan. I will address this to you because you weren't there for this. So they have this thing called a roulette. A roulette. So you get like a whole stack of wings, and in one of those wings will be their sauce that they make from Carolina Reaper. So anyone that's not familiar with chilies, Carolina Reaper is the hottest natural chili in the world.
And the second hottest chili.
Third hottest now.
Oh, it's third hottest.
It's the third hottest.
I thought they couldn't find proof
because they crossbreeded or
they
whatever?
crossbreed.
So it's the hottest naturally forming
chili in the world. I don't know the Scoville units and shit. It's fucking insane. It's very hot. That's all you guys really like compared to the ghost pepper, which is the other popular one that people like. It's like significantly hotter in multiples of that. So it's very fucking hot. This one of these wings is coated in this sauce. I unfortunately got that wing.
And then now let's talk about the benefits of the roulette plate. I have never heard Adam being that quiet for so long.
It shut him up.
I couldn't open the second I ate it. I took one bite and immediately knew what I'd eaten. And then I was like, well, I'm not gonna wimp out of this. I'm gonna eat the whole wing. So I immediately just go fuck it and just like rip into it and just finish it in about a second. Like just eat the whole thing and just dunk it. And everyone's just like,
oh no,
oh god. And then this is a slow burn thing, but it hit me within like about 10 seconds, and I'm just sitting there and the sweats and my eyes like it's so hot you just start crying. Like your body doesn't even. It's not like I need to cry.
Understand.
Your face is just like, what is going
My
on
body's
right
like,
now?
I
I don't know what's happening. I've been poisoned.
It kicks off all your body functions. You start to cry.
Legitimately stone face, bright red, and then just the first of many tears.
I'm just like,
slides.
they're like, you
gently
okay?
down
And I'm
his
just like
cheek.
sitting there fucking silent, just being like,
He may have peed his pants. I'm not certain, but I feel like that could have happened.
Carl, the gem that he is, ran and grabbed me a milkshake because I was dying. And it's funny because then like whenever someone gets the roulette, all the waiters are kind of like come around checking out and be like, because they love seeing who gets it and they love watching the reactions. Yeah. So like this waiter that was consistently serving us was coming and being like, what's going on here? Like, anyone got it yet? And then he saw me and was like, oh, you got it, did you?
Like, I see.
And then I think so Chris, who's been on the channel a few times, who was with us was like, went to the waiter, was like, his reaction, how good is that on a scale of taking it? And the waiter looked at me and went, it's actually one of the better ones. And I'm just sitting there, stone faced, crying, and he's just like, he's actually doing really well. Most people are like, fuck by now. How long's he? That was long?
Me,
and
not Chris.
And he was just like,
why are you confusing me and Chris?
I think you guys are the
because
same
you
person.
can't remember straight.
Chris, maybe Crystal sauce as well. I'm sure because Chris.
Like, come on. I'm like, yeah, how's he doing? And
He's like, not bad.
And then
actually, not too bad.
And then we both yelled at you for drinking your beer, which was a bad idea.
I just needed anything. Like, dude, when you have that in your system, your mind goes, where is liquid? I need
the beer
liquid.
doesn't help.
It doesn't do shit. Yeah, and the waiter's like, that's going to make it worse. And I was like, I don't give a fuck at this point. And then, so I got the milkshake, had most of it, and then was just like, drank it way too fast. And immediately was like, I'm going to be sick. So immediately ran to the bathroom. Less said the better. Felt better. Felt way better because my body's like, the poison is out of you now. Yeah. I'm not going to die. Yeah. And I bonded with the other dude in the bathroom for the same fucking reason. And he was like, how you doing? And I was like, yeah, good. And he was just like, did you just have a bite? And I was like, no, I ate the whole thing. And he was like, I'm down here for like just nibbling it. What the fuck did you do? But yeah, that was
beautiful.
And your stomach like seizes up, and it's just like I was fine after that, but my stomach is just like No, you don't need food anymore. I don't trust you with what you're putting in your fucking mouth.
I would say you haven't earned
You
it.
filthy animal. Like, you're done for tonight.
Oh, dear.
No more wings. I was like, okay.
That was also the highlight of my week. So I've got nothing to add to that.
We went out to karaoke and everything
did
was
go to
right in the
karaoke.
world.
Karaoke was fantastic.
Fuck me,
that was
fun.
that was a good night. That was a good night had barrel.
So I'm going to skip the roulette next time.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, I think you should participate and you get to go first.
You get to pick the first.
You-
the
As
first
the
wing.
privilege of losing last time, you get first pick.
All right.
And
We
then
have
I
been,
just have this mental image of you grabbing the
First
first
wing.
roll.
fucking get the game.
okay. We have been going for quite some time, so let's get into the swing of our top picks for today.
Yeah.
So, right off the bat, our first thing, not a big bit of controversy, but a little bit of controversy. We do like our controversy here on Cast of Salt.
Get them quick clicks. Them clicks. Gotta get them clicks.
First, I heard of it, but I kind of knew-ish. But Ryan was mentioning earlier on with regards to PUBG.
Say it by its proper name.
PUBG.
PUBG.
PUBG. Players Unknown Battleground have a little bit of gripe with a small unknown Chinese developer because of frying pans.
Well, yeah. I mean, so the long and short of it is that, as you know, PUBG has become a
International
success,
phenomena.
right? Its Battle Royale format has now, because of the success, attracted copycats.
And more importantly at the moment, PUBG and Fortnite both have recently come to mobile devices,
Yes.
which leads to them being...
So
Yeah.
PUBG
Protective of their
Mobile comes
IP.
out, and all of a sudden you have a bunch of copycat developers. In this case, one of them is a Chinese developer who have released a PUBG clone. I don't know the name of it. Can't remember off the top of my head.
It's a users unknown Warfield,
Yeah, no, I don't know, something like that.
users mysterious
Now-
Battlefront.
Stop. You can
Now,
stop
when it comes to copyright and trademark, it's all about like substantial similarities, and especially with trademark, it's like it has to be something pretty unique, right?
Yes.
So it means that like you can't create a game with Pikachu, but you could probably create a game where you have a person running around catching monsters.
Well, that has existed.
And there's a million
Right.
of those.
Because you can't, anyway. So that's kind of what's happened here, right? Is you have a game that's come out that's...
Digimon.
Well, Pocket Bodies. Good example.
Yeah.
Or, any Shin Megami Tensei or Monster Hunter
we get it.
stories.
We get it.
or...
Sorry, Ryan, continue.
The point,
Fucking Nino Kuni has it, man.
the point is, they've released a Battle Royale game for mobile that looks and acts very much like PUBG, and they're now being sued by the developers of PUBG for copying their shit. And one of the things that they brought up in a list of things that they've said, oh, you've obviously copied us, is a frying pan.
Well, in their defense, if the frying pan does behave exactly like the way the frying pan does in PUBG, which is a very unique way,
Yeah.
the frying pan is
Works differently to all other melee weapons.
in all its majesty is really bizarre because it
best.
has a built-in bullet deflection thing. If you,
Fucking awesome.
you can,
Yeah, I'd heard about that. Like, people have it as helmet
strap it
kind of thing, or on your back.
You
or...
strap it to your back, and then if a bullet hits it, you don't get
yeah.
hit.
So
Yeah.
in their defense, if
great.
the frying pan acts that way, I would consider that a breach of intellectual property.
Which is what my next point was going to be, right? Is that they can't copyright or trademark or whatever the idea of a frying pan, but if it has a unique thing that is that they are known for having that unique thing with that frying pan, and that part is copied, then they have a case.
Yeah, but for example, like
But-
Princess Peach uses a frying pan. Big whoop.
It does.
And there's a frying pan in Left 4 Dead. There's a frying pan in Team Fortress 2.
What's that last game? Sorry.
What?
What? I just haven't heard that name in a very long time.
Team Fortress 2.
Yeah. Welcome back to the podcast.
Okay.
The point is, yeah, like it is an item that has been a melee weapon, and it's been like even like there's movies where people hit other people with frying pans, and that's the joke.
That's the
right?
joke of it. Yeah.
Like,
Yep. I'm just looking at screenshots of the
copy.
game called
Yeah.
the game is called Rules of Survival. Oh, I would be suing for infringement. It's
Well-
that's
Well, once again, this is the problem. China has this incredible capability to replicate a mobile game, reproduce it, and publish it in like the space of like 2
Days.
weeks.
Yeah, weeks.
If that. And so the trouble is, China's stance on copyright laws is it's something that doesn't apply to China.
It's also like I can already see from here the way the method of dropping in via the plane that comes across.
So like I said,
yeah.
the only reason why I brought up the frying pan is because it's the one that everyone's getting hung up about at the moment, right? So like everyone's like, you can't copyright a frying pan,
No,
right?
I think
but at the
that's fair
same
to say.
time, it's one point in a list of complaints.
Yeah.
I've got.
Well, in seeing this, even the method of parachuting in, even the parachutes look the same. The idea of getting crate drops with planes flying over, dropping like the crate of like all the cool shit.
Yeah.
But that is
that's-
identical. All these
Yeah, but,
gameplay
like-
mechanics are all the same, and in combination, you'd be like, well, this is surely a clone, right?
Yeah, but being a clone in itself is not copyright violation.
Yeah, it is.
Right? They use
No.
different assets. They use different things. They don't call it the same thing. Like instead of being an energy drink, it's a sports drink. Like that's okay.
But okay, so here's a couple of things they've argued as well that that one of the things, and this may seem small, but they say like when you win, you still get references to chicken dinners.
Yeah, no, that's the
which
thing.
is a massive thing because PUBG's marketing centers around that use of that phrase.
Yes.
And they can't copyright that phrase.
No.
But in conjunction with a lot of other things, you're saying, well, you are deceiving people into saying rules of survival. It's PUBG. Like that's like the idea of being copying all those
and
things.
that's kind of what I was getting at before,
Yeah.
right? Like if they had a fry pan and they had a unique property like yours,
Yeah.
or they named it something like it was instead of being the fry pan, it was the
Skillet.
the fry cook 3000
Yeah.
extreme edition, and they named
the
their
same
thing
thing.
the fry cook 3000
You'd be
extreme
like, well,
edition.
yeah.
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 I mean, it's always a
what
dicey
it sounds like to me is like each of these little things, the fry pan, the crates, the whatever, not a big deal. But from the sounds of the screenshots, the description, everything that's coming through, it seems like they've somehow gotten their hands on the source code and just gone,
Oh, but not even
let's
that though.
make some minor changes to whatever.
Well, that's
they
really
might,
easy to do.
Well, they might not have gotten changes on source code. They might have literally. That would be what a lawsuit would be. Say like, well, you now have to provide your property to actually for comparison and whatnot. But what I feel
Even
like,
without that.
but even there, the amount of tangential evidence building up to say whether you not. I guess this is for the courts to decide whether they've broken the actual law, but it's definitely broken the spirit of the law, which should be enough to be like, we reserve the right to at least file a lawsuit that isn't totally frivolous.
The point is, it is a lawsuit.
Yeah.
There is going to be argument on both sides.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And until an outcome is determined,
Yeah.
it's all up in the air.
Yeah,
See,
of course.
My point is, I don't know. Okay, they may have a case. They may win the case. So what? It is one developer, and next week there'll be another one, and the week after that there'll be
But
another
the thing is, what it does though is sets important precedent because most law is
that
90%
precedent has been set for the last 40 years, and this keeps happening.
Yeah.
Right. When Skyrim came out, there were mobile games called Sky Reach coming out.
Yeah, well,
Right. When
yeah.
Call of Duty came out, there were games that was like Call of the Warzone or like that's
Yeah.
like that. It just happens. Clone games
So-
are a sign of your success.
This is we get this with movies as well. Like, I'm going to drop the name The Asylum. Have anyone heard of Asylum films? Yep, you all have.
Yep.
So the real question is, it depends on what copyright PUBG has in the background, and can you really uniquely claim an identity of a game as your own?
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if that infringes or deceives consumers in any way to maybe thinking that maybe someone that's not tech savvy that has just heard about, hey, there's this like kind of Battle Royale game that people are getting in on. And then they're like, hey, there's a mobile version. And because now PUBG now has a mobile version, someone will find it and see like, there's this thing called PUBG or Battleground. There's one called Battlegrounds for $10 or $15 or whatever it is.
And there's one that's Rules of Survival.
Rules of Survival for like $3 or for free. Like people will go for that. And then PUBG's like, yo, there's enough similarities here that you are stealing our concept of this game. There's absolutely enough to say
Once
there's
again,
a line.
that depends on what they've entirely done with the concept of it. Now, you guys may not remember Blockbuster, but I remember walking in when the new Sherlock Holmes DVD just hit DVD.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, there was another Sherlock Holmes DVD hidden in the back to the left, which was something like Sherlock Holmes versus the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which, once again, it's the same premise. They are riding the cash train of someone else's success with something that technically isn't infringement because that material is not controlled. It's like how we get crappy Frankenstein films to reference earlier.
Yeah.
That stuff is open source.
Yeah,
So,
that's the difficult though. But like PUBG is like a commercial product.
Yeah,
which is
and I think there's
open source literary.
I get where you're coming from, but I think there's a bit of a difference in looking in the film industry versus the game industry, in the sense that a movie, unless the script is the same, the plot is the same.
Well, it's very hard in that way.
It's hard to say we're infringing someone's movie because unless they have the rights to a character.
I Hate Everything did a wonderful couple of series or couple of episodes. I have to bring him up. I'm sorry. He did where like he got like Disney ripoff movies, right?
Yeah.
Like he went down to like dollar stores. Like,
I used to sell them,
Yeah, and buy like the $2, $3 movies, which
called
pretend
chilled instead of frozen or something.
Yeah, well,
Like-
that's exactly what
The
happens.
Jungle
right?
King.
The Jungle King.
One
Yeah.
of my favorites.
Yeah.
Is that the Lion King or is that Jungle Book?
Yes.
Or like, bees instead of the bee movie, like that
Yeah.
sort of stuff.
And then like high profile ripoffs like Ants instead of A Bug's Life.
Ants is vastly superior to Bugs Life.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Way superior.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
I'm with Adam on this one.
Ants is
no,
the better
It's
movie.
actually funny.
Don't get me
We're-
wrong. I love ants.
I bet you do.
So wait, you think
alone
Bugs
and
Life
with
is
others.
better?
I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I'm saying
I'm just-
ants is
Actually-
definitely not vastly superior.
I'm just saying the B movie's better than both of them.
Haven't seen the
Barry
movie.
B. Benson.
Okay, so if you were writing a B movie, or like the cloned B movie, and you had to attach a comedian to it to be like, okay, we've got to get the Jerry Seinfeld kind of film. What comedian would you be like? Yep.
Do you like jazz?
Like I don't know what you would do.
No, okay. The point is, these movies aren't even big enough or important enough
To-
or
yeah,
have
warrant
enough
a
money
star.
put to them
Disney's
to have
just
to
like,
attach a name like Jerry Seinfeld to it, right? Which is saying something.
Having said that, attaching Jerry Seinfeld to something's difficult because he's like the biggest comedian on the planet. Like,
But
I
the
didn't
point
think
is,
he was that fat.
Basically, my point
Fat
is,
Albert.
even if this game came out, right, and even if it was like on the App Store, right,
yep.
you're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, okay, above it is Battlegrounds with 5 stars, 100 million downloads, like the little developer verified tick,
Yeah.
and then below it you're gonna see like some crappy little knockoff with low stars, low downloads, and you're
But
gonna
free though.
Yeah, but no, but my point is you're
Yeah.
going to look at them
Yeah.
and the general person is going to say, that's probably the official
That's probably
one.
the good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
So I don't think there's going to be any financial impact to PUBG in that sense.
But that's what you're arguing
But
with
but
copyright
the thing is, well,
violations, right?
if you don't actively protect your IP, if somebody like a big player then goes after you
Yeah.
because you look like a soft target, then it's going to look even harder because you didn't
Do anything
you didn't do anything
previously.
previously. You didn't. People vigorously defend their copyright because it's like the walls need to be up at all times. If I let anything slide, then potentially a big thing can come in and be like, "Yo, we've got precedent that you thought was fine then. So what's the big deal?"
see, the problem I have though is that you can't copyright the murder brawl
No.
thing.
Yeah.
What is the
you
nickname?
can't-
What is it called?
But
Battle Royale.
no one is claiming, and despite my
Earlier illusion.
no, like my.
The illusion has been dispelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll a d20 to persuade me.
I'm
about
actually a bear.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Barrington.
No, I didn't sleep with your mother.
No, so despite the fact of like whether you like or dislike Fortnite, I think Fortnite
PUBG.
No, I'm talking about
No,
Fortnite.
no.
Okay, you're talking Fortnite now.
Fortnite
How did we
is-
switch to Fortnite?
No,
We're
despite
getting there.
no,
Shut
this
up.
is the point. Despite my personally, I don't like Fortnite as much, even just for my own. It serves a good purpose. It's a great free game.
Have you played it?
It's different. No, I've seen a lot of it.
I've played a bit of
I've
it,
actually played
actually.
it, but like I've been playing PUBG, and I've just decided like I'm gonna pick one and stick to it. And honestly, could play Fortnite, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. Is it a problem?
Well, we can't keep an eye on the thing because
Let's carry on.
It locked itself. We're just going to assume everything's okay and have audio. It's fine.
Jesus. Okay. Cool.
Do you believe
Yeah.
Life
Cool.
after love.
So
Do you
So-
believe
Please stop
yeah.
that.
in
So
copyright claims?
So with Fortnite, the kind of like it has its own place in the market, and there's no way that someone like PUBG would be going after Fortnite because there's way too
There
much.
is like substantial differences between the two.
And the thing
Honestly,
is, yeah,
the only similarities from
the
my
format.
perspective
It's
is
Battle
the
Royale.
Battle Royale format.
and you can't copyright a game mode.
No, and that's totally fine. And my general misgivings towards Fortnite was the fact that it's by Epic, and a lot of people bought into the Kickstarter for Fortnite, hoping for a really cool tower defense game. It wasn't doing great. Development, it was 5, maybe 7 years in the pipe. There was a lot of development issues. It was losing traction, and so Epic just went. And then Battle Royale came out 6 months previously, and then they went, "Fuck, this is really popular. Why don't we just turn And then because the thing is, the tower defense mode game is still there, but there's been no updates. It works, but nobody plays it.
Yeah.
It costs money.
And it costs money, and it's all these things that the community that originally bought into wanted it. And yet someone's like, well, you've just spun it off into something you think will make more money. And that's people's problem with Fortnite, not that you copied PUBG.
Do you have a personal issue with that as well?
I don't mind.
I feel like we're in like a psychologist lounge. Like,
Yeah.
well, how do you
How
feel?
does that make you feel?
It makes me
Show me on the doll where Fortnite touched you.
Right up the bottom.
Because
just gave me a little foot tickle. It's
just 'cause
inappropriate.
From my perspective,
I'll give
I
you
actually
more
really
than
like
that.
what Fortnite has done in that
Yeah,
regard.
no,
because
that makes a
that
lot of
is
sense to me.
Fantastic.
It's
They've gone. We are building this thing. Yes, Kickstarter and whatnot. They were
phrase
trying to
you're
do
looking
something.
for is like pivoting
They
for
pivoted.
business
They're just like,
intentions, and
"Shit,
it's great.
The fort defense stuff not
really
really
selling."
flying. Let's do something else.
From a business, it's totally fine. And to be honest, like there's no issue with doing that. I find it like the thing is though, it's kind of that tale of like PlayerUnknown has spent his majority of his time in the modding and game industry building H1Z1, the H1Z1 Battle Royale stuff, doing lots of the mods, doing and he's
do the like armor mod, like
he
worked
was
on the
part-
armor
he was
one as
part
well.
of he wasn't
DayZ.
heading it. Yeah, he was part of. I believe he was part of the team that
So-
did that. So he's been doing Battle Royale stuff for a long time.
Yep.
And he's finally got something that's successful.
And he's like, now I want to launch my own thing. I'm ready to go with my own game and my own ideas, and I'm not going to mod off other people's stuff. I'm going to do my own thing, and it's been great. And and all the power to him. And for another company, a big company like Epic, just to come in and be like, oh, cool, we're just going to pivot and do it too. There's nothing wrong with that.
If they're such a big company, why were they having a Kickstarter? That's my question.
I don't know. There are lots
'Cause anybody can go
lots
to
of big
Kickstarter.
companies now do that because you fund the game for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, describe it as an expression of interest. For example, if I wanted to make something that I'm not sure that the market wants, it'll be like, here.
You'll give extra perks and shit, but the game will come out either way.
Yeah, like, here's a $10,000 Kickstarter community. Do you actually want Dota 3? Yes, no.
We'll make it
Go.
either way. But the thing is, you might be like, we're going to make this either way, but if you give us extra money, we can then put extra bells and
But
whistles
were
on
they
it.
going to make Fortnite the
No.
tower defense without Kickstarter?
No, that's the thing. No one wanted a tower defense game.
Well,
So like I think
If you market share this, no one wants a tower defense game. Give us money and we'll make a tower defense game for you,
Yeah.
like 10 people who each gave us $1,000.
As someone who hasn't played PUBG or Fortnite,
They're both trash. Don't play them.
no, but
but
That's
no,
bait.
sorry, make your
Yeah, that
point.
is
Make
bait.
it make your point.
the point is,
Carl knows what I'm talking about, doesn't he?
All right, we're ignoring Ben now. Ryan, please.
like, both would kind of appeal to me. I've played Call of Duty and I've played Team Fortress, and I kind of see PUBG and Fortnite as being very similar in the sense that you have PUBG as the realistic quote unquote,
Yeah.
Call of Duty style thing, and you have Fortnite as the cartoony fun sort of thing,
which I think is totally fine, and I think that Epic has positioned themselves fantastically to do this, and I think it would be doing a disservice to Fortnite to say they just cloned PUBG, because they didn't. They clearly pivoted a failing product into something very profitable, which is great business sense.
And you hate them for that.
It's great business sense. It's always the story of the underdog, like the guy that worked his whole career to get to the point where he is, to have a big company come in and go like, we can do that too.
So swinging it back around to the main point, you don't see who makes Call of Duty.
Activision.
You don't see Activision going around shooting people for boring brown first-person, like suing them for those FPS, generic FPS.exe.
Yes.
So what's wrong with generic battleground game?
But the thing is, it depends
Battle Royale,
it depends on where you draw the line of saying like, if you have all of these exact same elements in the game, then you're not being a generic game. You're being PUBG. That's a different.
So
there's a different delineation.
Crates coming from the sky, whatever.
The way you drop in,
Dropping in via a plane, also
art style.
whatever. Art style's an important thing.
Call of Duty.
But once again, generic brown.exe.
So,
but the thing is, adding all these things together makes the
where
case.
Adam is coming from to say,
not
if
one
it's
thing.
generic and it's just, there's no... If someone looks at PUBG and looks at this new thing and going,
That
they're
just
struggling to see the difference between them, that's where it's like, okay, no, I get where they're suing them from.
And that is literally the copyright substantial similarity clause.
And-
right?
yeah.
And that's the thing. If it is substantially similar that you cannot tell the two apart, and you go, this one's called PUBG and this one's called PUGB, right? Like,
Bug P.
or whatever. The point is, if an uninterested party looks at both and gets confused as to which one's the legit one, that's when you have a problem.
And I think that's the case they're making with saying all of these things. They're not saying that you're doing a fry pan and we're doing a fry pan, so fuck you. It's more like all of these things they're doing, and these are all things we're doing, and the lists are very similar, and this is what we're trying to raise, which I think is fine for them to protect their copyright.
So, that's where I agree with you in terms of PUBG suing this developer, because from what I understand, that is the case. They are similar enough that people would get confused, and there is some disparity. But in terms of your gripe with Epic, I disagree.
Right.
Because...
I disagree, because I feel like Epic has come in and gone, okay, there's a hype.
There's
this thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Let us make use of that. They haven't
at
gone,
the end of the day,
screw
well,
you,
that's fine.
PUBG.
That's fine.
They're not
If I
actually
may-
stealing anything from PUBG.
They're offering a
developer.
different experience.
Completely
if I
different.
may, Fortnite, and that's kind of what I was getting with like the Team Fortress comparison. Fortnite's IP and its specialty is like the characters and the cartooning and the forts and stuff, right? They're not copying PUBG. They don't have that sort of brown, gritty Call of Duty battleground.
Yeah.
Look
Totally
about it,
fine.
right?
Yeah.
And they
you
have a
don't
whole
have to
thing. They
worry
have a
about
building
bullet
element. They have a
drop.
whole different meta game around building and doing these other things. It is a different experience playing it.
Yes.
It's a different experience. And there's nothing legally, there's no problem whatsoever.
What
and
I
I don't think it
want
would
to
be
know-
disingenuous to imply that at all.
Is where is the line of something's too similar?
Well,
Is that like...
That's why people sue.
And that's
to
why
find that
that's
line.
exactly why lawyers
Is this
exist.
like
That
the
is why lawyers
pornography
exist.
argument? I don't know what porn is, but I can tell you when I see it.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just like, oh, I'm guessing that, yeah. Then you go, these two things, and then a whole bunch of lawyers come in, and the judge goes, well, yeah, I think that is. Or, no, I think there's substantial differences. Like, at that point, that's where this is the grey area, and it's various shades of... To me,
it's an objective-
just from looking at one
objective,
article in
subjective?
my... subjective.
Subjective. That's the one.
From looking at one article and a few different screenshots that I've just done in the last 20 minutes, then it looks enough for me to say it might be a bit more black than white. It's still grey, but maybe it's a bit darker grey. Maybe it's a bit more iffy than saying like, oh, they're kind of reaching on this and being like, well...
I think our only solution to do now is to download the game and decide for ourselves.
I'm supporting that shit.
I think we've got into a
You're
point.
like, I'm not installing that shit on my phone.
We've got into a point where we can move on.
Yes.
Let's say
Well,
our next topic.
We've got it to a point where I can make a dumb joke about it. Topic's dead.
Yes. Oh, well,
Let's-
you mean like from the start of the topic?
Oh, yeah,
Like
every-
any point in any conversation with you involved, we just don't talk.
Yep. That's why I brought these ball gags here earlier.
Anyway,
So what's our next thing?
The next thing that we were going to talk about, and I feel like this is something that's more, again, applicable to you because you're.
Look, it's like you guys are like, looking after
just
you, like,
Ryan
oh,
came
Ryan,
back.
welcome back. We've got all this stuff we want to talk to you about.
Anything that Ryan can talk about.
So here's
Is
some
it Team
penis
2?
enlargement whales.
Is it the new
I don't need
update?
those. I need the
it's
reductions.
a new update on TF2, Ryan. Surprise!
It's the Disco Inferno update.
Actually, there is a new team.
Oh,
And I was actually going to bring it up, but we had enough topics that I thought, no, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave
We
it.
missed you so much.
We were joking about it.
No, there is.
No, but this is more a topic that's close to your childhood, I believe, in terms of Spyro. You are a big Spyro fan, am I correct?
I am a big
I'm
fan.
pretty
We-
sure
we-
we're
we
all
very-
Spyro fans.
I'm not.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I owned the
I
demo
don't care
disc for
for it.
Spyro 1, and that's the only thing I ever had.
Really? Oh,
The
wow.
Spyro
You
1
missed.
demo disc.
It's actually
For me, Spyro 2 was probably the best game
Yes.
out of the three. Spyro 1 was good, but it was kind of like that early. It's like first Crash, right?
Yeah.
They started to get it good by number 2.
Well, so funny you bring that up. It's basically getting the Crash treatment. That's
Yeah.
like what he's getting the
It's getting the
trilogy in a single disc kind of.
re-
the
remastered,
Crash
looking
Bandicoot
good.
Insane Trilogy, the Spyro Remastered Edition, whatever
Do you know
it's
what?
gonna
It's called fuck, I'll get the name. The name leaked as well.
It's
So,
like something
Gateway
about
to Glim- No.
Reignited.
Is
or
it-
something?
Reignited. That's it.
something.
called.
Reignited.
Is it Vicarious that's doing it? Same people that did the Crash Trilogy remake?
maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised. We can look this shit up.
Vicarious.
We probably should
Look
have
up-
looked this
look
shit
up,
up
see if
prior to the podcast so
We
we could
probably
actually
should,
just
we probably
talk.
The news that
Spyro.
so the actual news story is that it leaked. Right?
Yes, correct. That's what we were getting
Amazon
at.
leaked it in Mexico and then around the world.
And now everybody has
now
it.
everyone knows.
Do you have it?
I don't have it. No, they leaked the announcement. They didn't leak the game.
The actual game?
Yeah.
Okay, so to say like this is a thing.
They're like, this is available. Oh wait, no, it's not
Nope,
because it's
sorry.
not going to be available for the next 6 months.
My bad. So I am
Okay,
assuming you are gonna jump on that thing's bone
So
the instant it
it's
comes out.
Activision.
I don't know what you want to talk about with bones and stuff, but yeah.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
Sorry,
So-
what were you saying?
It's while not done by Acclaim. What was it?
Vicarious.
Vicarious. It's done for Toys for Bob, who is also one of Activision's dumb studios for Skylanders.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's the Skylanders guys. Okay.
Well, so was Vicarious.
Vicarious with Skylanders as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
So my question.
more you know.
The moon.
I was going to say earlier that Skylanders with Spyro is best Skylander.
I was going to say earlier that Spyro 3 took it in a weird direction with skateboards and stuff. They did the whole 90s thing and gave
And
Spyro
it
a
was real,
skateboard, and
it was real
just
bad.
It was bad.
We try not to talk about it.
Spyro 2 was the best Spyro.
And we don't talk about anything after that, especially not when he and Crash crossed over with each other.
Oh god, I remember that now. Oh.
Just shudder.
Look, I'm excited for the Spyro remasters. I think it's as a franchise, Spyro had a lot of potential. I don't think they took it to its full potential. And I think some of the, like I was just saying with the skateboard and the weird things that they did.
So you're saying they Sonic the
I think-
Hedgehog themselves?
I think
I think they Sonic the Hedgehog.
I think one of the greatest things that Spyro has up its sleeves is its character design. You just look at Spyro and he looks cute. The game looks fun. Like immediately, like you could just get a screenshot of the game of just Spyro standing there, and you'd be like, I want to play that.
Yeah.
Like immediately,
they had the Spyro look.
the look and
There's a
feel is
specific look.
very good. And
To be
you just
fair,
always
I always had a bit of a similarity connection between the Spyro look and for example, Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo. So there was,
I guess, but I mean,
like the rare stuff.
yeah. So the likes of Conker.
so
the likes-
originally it was
Kinda.
yeah.
Insomniac.
Yeah,
I
it is.
think
Yep,
did
it is.
Spyro.
Insomniac.
Um,
Great game studio.
Yeah,
What else?
they
did they do?
the thing is
They
I remember
stuff.
they kind of I can't remember it exactly, but I remember hearing that they kind of built Spyro's world into other worlds, and they kind of attached all the worlds together and some
Like
weird
just try to make
backstory
some
and
connections and stuff
yeah,
like that.
that sort of stuff. So the thing that always sort of weirded me out with Spyro was like the weird portals where you kind of just walked into and then just looked at the skybox. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's like, here's the skybox, and he's just flying
Like,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
I'm just gonna leave now.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, the storylines of Spyro were always a bit weird.
We try and
Yeah.
ignore that and just embrace the
enjoy the
collective
game.
fun.
But yes, I'm looking forward to it. The other remake that
Ratchet and Clank is the other big one they've done.
Insomniac.
The famous
Yeah.
Insomniac.
See,
Tiles
I
that wasn't so much a remaster as it was a retelling of the first.
No,
game.
but we're just saying in
Insomniac,
general.
Oh, yeah,
who's
no, no, no.
Spyro,
Yes.
is Ratchet and Clank.
Yes,
They're
yes,
also in charge. Their biggest thing now is they're in charge of the new Spider-Man game coming out on PS4, which looks good as fuck. But we'll get back to.
Well, I mean,
Spyro.
what else can we
my.
say, right? It leaked. I'm excited.
Well,
And I
okay. So
can't
the
wait
thing is,
for a remake of Jack and Daxter.
So my question for you though is, you were saying that you preferred the originals over the remake of the Crash games, correct?
Yes.
I actually
For some specific reasons.
I actually saw an in-depth article. I can't remember where I saw it. I don't think it was traditional games media because I feel like Polygon is too generic to find an article like this.
Okay.
But it was basically about someone being like, yo, didn't like it as much, and listed basically every reason that you had with it. It was basically like, hitboxes are weird, timing is odd, looks great, looks a million times better than the original. I'm not denying it.
Yeah.
But the game
It just doesn't-
And they're
You can
the
slip
game
off
is actually
things.
the game is harder. The
Yeah.
game is harder because of technical issues.
Yeah.
Over the OG and
The big one for me was
and the
the
developers even came out and went, yeah, the hitboxes had to get changed a little bit. Sorry about that.
hitboxes is different, jump height's different, the way he jumps is
But
different.
the level design is the
momentum's
same.
different.
So you're like, what the fuck? It's like the level has been designed differently
And
for.
Okay.
I've actually have statistical proof that this isn't just a nerd thing. But, well, okay, Bonnie's a nerd, but she doesn't play video games normally. So she was drinking at my place, as I normally do, when she was like, oh, dude, can we play some Crash Bandicoot? Because, motherfucker, it's been years. And I'm like, yeah, well, just put the remake on because I can't be bothered finding the PlayStation 1 and all that stuff. We spent a good amount of time, and she's just like, it's just...
Doesn't
It's
feel
not
right.
right.
Feels different.
It's just
This is
not-
where I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask to say, were the technical problems a fact of you've played the originals, you know and love them, and you know how it works really well, and then playing this new one throws you off?
No.
Or is it just a matter of, regardless of the
Okay.
previous experience, regardless of
Can I-
anything,
I'm gonna have-
anybody jumping into this game will go, this feels off. Like, I don't quite...
There's a
Okay.
It doesn't flow as you would
The-
expect, sort of thing.
Crash Bandicoot, at least the first one, was built to be a punishment platformer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where jumps are like pixel perfect and
The first one, really?
Yeah, the whole point
Dude,
was
you
to,
could only save after bosses, or if you got all the gems in a stage, and that's the not gems boxes.
Yeah.
Sorry, and that's the only time. No saves.
Yeah, so
no
the
saves.
original was
No
built
save for
to
you.
be a punishment platformer, and like the whole life thing, like, oh, you're out of lives, okay, well you have to go back 10
All
levels
the-
now,
all
'cause
the
that
way
was
to the
last time you
start.
saved.
Yeah.
Right. The whole point of it was to be hard, right? And then there were certain quirks with the way it was built on PlayStation 1. Certain enemies,
Due to
such
the
as the
architectures
turtles,
and
right?
stuff, yeah.
Turtles you could bounce on, right? So you could land on their shells and they would turn over, and then you could bounce on them, right?
Yep.
There was mechanics. There were levels based around that mechanic because you could bounce on them higher than you could jump,
Yes.
right?
So you'd have to ricochet along multiple ones. And,
Yeah, and that sort of stuff, right? So they turned what is effectively a rectangular hitbox into an oval-shaped
So you
hitbox.
can't bounce on it.
No,
off of it,
so
like,
you
as is.
slide
So,
off
yeah.
and into a pit.
You go off in a different direction, kind
Like,
of thing.
it is harder, not just because I'm used to the originals and I'm now
It's
playing
straight
it.
up
It's-
just
it
harder.
is straight up
It is
harder.
just straight up. Okay,
and
that makes sense.
there is
But the level
these-
design didn't get catered for the new changes in hitboxes because they wanted the levels to be identical.
It's
So you're like, all of a
mechan-
sudden, you're like, fuck, this is really
two
hard.
words: mechanical dissonance. It's just not in
It
tune
doesn't-
with
yeah.
itself anymore.
Okay, no, that makes perfect sense. So that's hence why I was asking to
it's
like,
also an
is it
interesting
one or
thing
the other?
because it goes from a good type of hard game to a bad type of hard game where you're like, I'm
did everything right.
I'm getting challenged because this is hard and I'm dying and I need to learn how to get better. To what the fuck? I made that jump. Why did I just die then?
Why didn't
So-
I bounce? Why did I slide off?
Why
So
did that just happen? And then it
goes
makes
from
it
a
feel like you're
crash
being cheated.
To a Bubsy.
To be honest,
Maybe
to
not
be-
that far.
To be honest, to be honest,
Goes
though,
from a
like, I think
crash
that
to a Jack and Daxter.
on the whole, the game is still
no,
good.
that was
We're-
mechanically sound.
we are nitpicking
It's
small things
yeah.
that do impact the overall feel of the
Experience,
game.
yeah.
But it's not like this game is garbage and you should not buy it.
But honestly, Crash Bandicoot Warped in the remaster is still it's fine. It's
perfect.
because by that point they made levels easier.
It became less like a punishment platformer. It became more like an actual,
story progression
and achievement
And
stuff.
I mean, it's really fun. It just doesn't feel.
Okay, so my question for you now is: are you concerned same sort of thing with Spyro?
I mean,
can you see the same sort of thing happening?
The thing is, it's like anything, right? There's always going to be creative differences when they do this, unless it's literally like an emulated version running.
Well,
Like,
it won't be.
With
but it won't be.
upscaling.
With upscaling or whatever.
I reckon what they'll do is they'll do the same Crash treatment and they will do a rewrite.
Yep.
Which, to be honest, I kind of like the idea of rewrites. Like, if I want to go back and play the original, like, I will. And we're living in the time of, like, Steam and a lot of things that, like, at the moment, the game I've been playing the most recently is Republic Commando. I mean, and it's just a port. It's fine. Whatever.
Well, I mean, okay, look, I
Rogue
just spent a while playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on PS4, and that is literally a PS2 emulated version, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And it feels like the PS2 emulated version, right?
Okay,
like
cool.
it has the same sort of lag spikes because there's too many entities moving, or like it
Has to
feels
load
the same.
everything up and stuff
if
like that.
that's what you're after, then you need to play the original or an emulated version, right?
Yeah.
If they ever made a GTA San Andreas remastered, it'd probably feel a lot like GTA 5, and I might not enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a different thing that you get.
Because they'll change it's a bit weird that this physics doesn't work quite this way, and cars shouldn't tip over that quickly, so we'll change it, but then that changes driving mechanics.
Well, and the thing is as well, if you do that rewrite, like, I kind of like the idea because it's personal preference, because my personal preference is like, I would love to play GTA San Andreas, because again, that's probably my favorite GTA storyline. I really like that story, and I would love to play that
in the mode of
GTA 5 because I really enjoyed
5 as well.
5's mechanics, and like them talking about the again now delayed yet again, Final Fantasy 7 remake that they've been talking about forever. It is a fucking complete rewrite. It's not a remaster because they already exist. It's almost like it was being built as like Final Fantasy 15 style, like we all played that together. But the 7 storyline, and I was like, I'm down for a new experience.
This is exactly,
and I'm down for that.
You are the sort of person, right?
Yeah.
That would appreciate what I'm about to say, which is a mod. Sorry, but there's a group of people that tried to bring, and they tried to do it in New Vegas as well, but they tried to bring Fallout 3's storyline and gameplay and world and everything into Fallout 4's engine, and they got shut down because they were getting into copyright legal grey areas.
Yeah.
But that's the sort of people,
like, we might do that at some point. So fucking no.
No. It wasn't even that. It was like, see, the thing is, you're redistributing like voice files.
Voice files, because that was because Bethesda were like, we don't even care, but the voice actors we hire, we would get the shit sued out of us by the Voice Actors Guild. So
because
you can't. I'm really sorry, but we don't want to shoot the messenger, but like, we are the messenger here for the Voice Actors Guild. They will fuck us if we let this happen.
But that's basically what happened, right?
Yeah.
But that's the sort of thing that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the same story in a new engine, right?
Yeah.
Whereas
I guess what
I'm kind of looking for is
Yeah.
I guess what I'm kind of looking for is, like, if I were to redo San Andreas, I'd look for the same engine with a HD texture upgrade, new rendered cutscenes in between. Yeah. Like,
and then basically
better lighting.
Well, you're looking for a remaster. Because that is when people say, like Crash Bandicoot's getting a remaster, it's not a remaster.
It was a remake.
It's a remake.
Yeah.
And people that like remasters, and I love remasters as well. Like, I'm super down for remasters, but I also love the idea of a full remake of a game. And I like encouraging that, because in this day and age, like, there's a port, which takes not a lot of effort, just some testing. And then there's a remaster, which is textures and a whole bunch and more. It gets more complex and more testing. Yep. And then there's a remake, which is just like, we're throwing everything out, and we now have to look at this and go, how do we build this in today's world?
It's like someone standing next to the Mona Lisa trying to paint it.
Yeah, so like the levels of complexity go up and up, and I like that people go, you know what, fuck it, let's do the hard thing and let's give it a go. There might be problems like Crash, but like, I like the idea of someone going, no, we're not going to phone it in.
Yeah.
Having said that, I want to clarify that I don't count remasters phoning it in, but I like sometimes ports. I'm like, the port doesn't even work, guys. Like, did you just go export as blah? There you go,
Or
$25, please.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that feels kind of shitty.
The Ratchet PS3 re-releases, not the PS4 redo, but like what were effectively PS2 games that were recompiled for the PS3.
Yeah.
Had glaring problems, especially around the loading screens and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh fuck it. It's like, did you even play test this port like at all before you fucking shipped it? Like,
So my problem is, do you feel that video games are going to hit the problem that the movie... I know I keep referring back to the movie market today, but we've had a lot of things that
That's fine.
seem like
That's fine.
parallel
Tangential.
growth. Like the remasters, fine, whatever. Don't give a flying fuck. We do that all the time. We've got Blu-rays. We got it on HD DVD. We had it on Laserdisc. Whatever.
I think.
Anyway, I'm going to finish my train of thought. The remake is something that I worry about because gaming is already a pretty insular scene, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Each one of us has our own type of thing that we like, and if they just
for
keep
sure.
literally like, this is just Final Fantasy VII again, but this time it works in VR. You'll be there in a heartbeat.
I will.
Half-Life VR.
I'll be there in a
Half-Life 3.
I'll be there in a heartbeat.
You're gonna get Half-Life 2 VR.
No, we're going to get Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Episode 1.
No,
In VR, but 3 will never come. They're gonna
episode 2.5.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not the point. If we hit the gaming's still young. If we hit the remake saturation point already, what the fuck?
Yeah, are we running out of?
No, okay.
I don't think so.
I don't think we hit the remake saturation point. I think what's happening here is we're hitting that
Nostalgia.
20-year nostalgia cycle that is exactly what happens with the movie industry. Right?
Oh, so
20 years later, suddenly action films are big again. Right?
Yeah.
Now we're starting to hit that 90s phase. Oh, okay.
people like
maybe
polygons,
maybe
platformers and RPGs.
maybe we need
Platformers are coming back, yeah,
that's
for
the thing.
sure.
And maybe films and stuff like wasn't there talk that they were going to redo The Matrix or something?
God,
I did hear
they
that.
were talking about
And
that.
I think that shit got shut down. But the thing is,
my point is that there is literally if you
but sci-fi and
look,
fantasy are having a renaissance now.
there is
for
a
sure.
20-year I'm just going to call it the nostalgia period, right?
Yeah.
After 20 years, people start thinking, hey, that stuff's cool again.
Well, it's like fashion. Fashion's a
Yeah.
great example.
Yeah.
See,
Every so often you're like, hey, that was cool, and you're like,
so the problem I have is there was this, like in movies, let's say there was a 1920s Dracula and there was a 1940s Dracula, and there was a big growth in the technology between the two. Like, I don't have the dates exactly right, whatever. For example, you could actually talk in film then. That's a very significant development. The problem I have is going from Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1 to Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation probably 5 by then. Yeah, it'll be 5.
I reckon it'll be the next
4
gen.
Pro
It's
or
going to be
whatever.
forever.
Or, yeah,
They were
like,
talking about remaking it from scratch, and I was like, fuck, that game's been in development for like 10 years already.
no, please,
Just
no.
give me what I want.
And that's the thing.
Fucking murder me.
Do you think is it just nostalgia, or have we had a significant enough in the evolution of gaming technology to warrant a genuine remake?
There was 60s
Of-
Batman, there was 80s Batman, and now there's the 2000s Batman.
You missed out on the terrible 90s Batman.
90s
There
Batman's
were
great, fuck off.
90s Batman, and they were fantastic.
In fact,
My
what?
point
your,
is there
your
was-
analogy is flawed because in that time period there wasn't a decade without Batman media. That Batman is eternal.
But Batman-
I am the night.
Okay, jeez.
Jesus.
No, yeah, Batman is quite unique, but your point still does stand of movies,
20,
gaming,
I reckon
whatever
it's
the
20
case
to
is.
25 years.
Yeah,
is
it's
the
a
nostalgia
cycle.
Well, I
cycle.
reckon it's because it's what you grew up with, and then now those people are adults, and now they're the filmmakers, and they're the creatives, and now they are bringing what they love about their childhoods to tell that to a new generation of children. So that's why it kind of rotates in this that's my theory anyway.
Yeah.
In that generational cycle of like,
But then why are we still getting shitty things like TMNT and Power Rangers?
because that's what I loved as a kid.
That's
And now I'm
what
like, let's remake Power Rangers and make it really good, because no one will listen to me when I was 10 saying this, but now I'm fucking 29, and I'm going to talk to you about Power Rangers, this new fucking movie.
And I'm still
It's
waiting.
still bad.
And I'm still waiting for my Captain Planet reboot.
Like the thing is that is what's popular.
yes.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that gets a movie because people are like, yo, I've wanted this since
How good
I've
would
seen
a
it.
Captain Planet live
We
action
are
be?
literally,
Oh my
yes,
God.
we're all in agreement. It's fine. You can be Marty.
And in 20 years,
You feel like a heart dude. You're definitely heart, right?
and in
I'm the one black guy in the freaking team.
I'm not gonna. Hey, you said that, not me. I'm not gonna. I would. How would that come from me being the whitest man on the planet? Like, you're definitely a Kwame.
yeah, that's
well, we all know that you're Wheeler.
Yeah,
Loud, obnoxious, annoying, fiery.
the fire guy.
I like Wheeler.
Anyway, to
it's
your
been
point-
so long since I've seen it. All I can think of is, can I be the guy who's not Hitler but is definitely secretly Hitler?
What the
That's a bad
The
guy.
bad guy?
It's a
The
bad guy.
bad guy.
I think he's voiced by Bryan Cranston. That one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was-
Man after my own heart.
God damn.
Go on, Ben.
what was I gonna say? To your
Captain
point of saturation.
There was a guy whose name was Luton Plunder. Like, it wasn't very...
Hey,
Yeah.
sorry, we're gonna keep derailing. Do you know that like Jeff Goldblum? Was
Yeah, he was. He was in 2 episodes.
and so was Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi
Yep.
Goldberg was Gaia.
Gaia.
Jesus,
LeVar Burton was Kwame.
It was a fantastic show.
like that
great
is.
show.
It was a
great
fantastic show in the sense of it was awesome. Kids just loved it, but it also had an environmental message to it. The
But
whole
have you
thing was
tried
about,
watching it
hey,
again?
Take care of the environment. I have. I've watched like clips, bits and
It's
pieces.
really hard. It's
It's like-
really hard.
But the point stands
that's
of
nostalgia.
we would love the shit out of a remake.
To be honest.
whether it's even a cartoon
Gritty
remake.
dystopia remake.
I
like,
was
but-
going to
But the thing
suggest
is,
that.
we're seeing documentaries at the moment, like Blue Ocean, and there was a plastic.
Yeah.
There was that about the plastic island.
Yeah.
About all the flying trash.
About
and
all the stuff that goes
There's heaps
to
of
flying trash.
environmental documentaries and the similar things like the new Al Gore documentaries, in fact, not by Al Gore, but like in
but
that
it's similar
style
sort of style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And people love that shit. So now would be a fucking awesome time.
Now
to
would
be like,
be the best time.
Yo,
Like,
we need
sure,
to-
maybe the message changes from
Global warming.
from
Boom.
global warming to and nuclear war to cleaning up the plastic trash.
Wait,
Oh,
you mean
no,
that
the
global
global warming
warming
is still
and nuclear war aren't things that are on the very
Like-
goddamn forefront of our mind right now?
that is actually true.
No, okay, so
Okay,
right,
that's
well,
really
take
sad.
that back.
It
You have
changes-
Trump.
it's not all, it's and.
Yeah.
We're adding a few more things to the message.
Okay, can we get Michael B. Jordan as Kwame?
Oh my god. Yes. Bring that man up now. Lock him in.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh,
Written
but down.
and directed by AirPods.
I see. I'm just like, who would we have play Captain Planet?
Yeah, that's it. Actually, I love how we cast the entire Planeteers, but we're just like, oh yeah, Captain Planet. Forgot about that guy.
Like,
Hey, he's a Superman. He's a patsy.
who has the strong enough jaw for it?
Can we get Henry Cavill to play?
Yes.
Wait, if we sell the idea to Marvel, we could get a DC superhero and make him good, right? Yeah.
God.
But the point stands of this isn't a saturation thing. This is
owns?
a nostalgia
Look
thing.
it up.
Absolutely. And our last 5 minutes of conversation just proves our fucking point.
It'd be like CBS or something like that. We're looking up who owns Captain Planet, so we can call them and be like, "Yo,
We
Yo,
need a
call
remake
Michael
now.
B. Jordan right now.
We need a remake, like right this instant. Okay. We have gone over an hour. Do we
Yes.
have time for one more topic?
Nah, I think we'll leave it. That's fine.
Especially not a sad
Fantastic,
one.
because we do not want to end on a sad point.
It's also sad.
Any recommendations for our viewers?
No,
He's a hero.
Watch Captain Planet. Why the hell not?
No, don't. It's
no.
bad.
If you haven't seen it before, watch the shit out of it.
it's very much aimed at children.
Oh yeah.
It's a fun show, though.
Oh my god, it's Hanna-Barbera.
Okay, I will get started.
fuck.
I started watching
And
Killer
Warner
Bee.
Brothers. Oh my god, it could
Hey.
cross over.
you like it?
I love it.
Yes.
I'm only like 3 episodes in.
What are you watching?
We
Killer
have
Bee.
the same fucking anime taste. It's amazing.
It's a new anime on
Oh,
Netflix.
everyone keeps saying, "Hey man, you should watch B," and I'm like, telling me to watch this fucking
I
thing.
wasn't
Yeah,
telling
he's
you to
gonna
watch
not
it.
watch
We're
it now.
gonna do the altered carbon cycle. It's gonna be like 3 months later. I'm gonna watch it and be like, "Yeah, I really enjoyed it." I would have enjoyed it more if you told me not to watch it.
I'm not telling you to watch it. I'm saying that I love it.
He's
I don't
telling
give,
our
I don't give a
viewers to watch
shit.
it.
I don't give a shit if you watch it or not.
You're
viewers,
lying.
Watch it.
It's good.
Yeah, no,
hey.
it's just good. It's interesting.
good.
It's different, and it's nicely done.
I was so unsure about like the first 2 episodes. I was like, I'm really into this. 3 through 5, I was like, this is taking a bit of a weird turn. Don't know if it's going to pay off. I felt a bit unsure if it was kind of like maybe kind of going a bit too hard on itself and being like, what the fuck is happening? I don't know if this has kind of just gotten to a ridiculous level, because I wanted to watch the show for some realistic grounding, and I thought this might have just kind of gone a bit too out there for me, and then it draws it straight, and like all of that build up is fucking paid off in full, and I was like, I'm in. I love this shit.
So the thing that really brings it in for me so far, because I have only watched the first 2 episodes, is that it's building a lot of intrigue. Like it's just gone, there's all this shit, and there's all this cool shit, and it's introduced a bunch of different characters, like just the chick investigator from the start. Happening. She's like a klutzy kind of funny kind of character, but she's also really interesting in her character. And I'm like, I really like this character. And there's a bunch of them. The weird, like super lazy detective, I'm like,
he's awesome.
I don't really get him. Like, I don't like his personality in a sense, but the way that he's doing shit is really cool. So there's just
he's a
so
Sherlock
much
Holmes kind of character.
I would say, hey, let's distract him for a second.
So much shit going on
season
that
3's
I'm really liking, and so I'm really keen to see how the rest of it.
Check that shit out.
In conclusion, watch B.
It's only like 12 episodes. Knock it over easy.
Okay.
Okay, so now that you guys have,
I feel that that's my
now 2
recommendation
hours
as
in.
well. You guys can.
so you guys had your bonding. Wakfu season 3.
Wakfu
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I started watching Wakfu. I watched like 3 episodes, and I was like,
I don't get it. Okay, we have the same anime taste. That's the same thing.
Can I just jump in here? Did you watch Wakfu, or did you watch The Quest of the Dofus?
Wait, did you see? Were they adults, or did he like rock up in a pram?
He was a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like it seems really interesting. Like the concept of it, the powers, everything. I'm like, sweet. Like I could get into it. Maybe I just need to give it enough time or something.
Because the thing is, there is 2 series on Netflix.
2 series.
Whatever. I don't know how to pronounce
series.
Also, Wakfu's on Netflix as well.
Yeah. That's why I started watching it.
And it just got a season 3.
Okay, so Wakfu season 1, 2, and 3 is a thing, and then you have Wakfu, the quest for the something
Dragon eggs
or whatever.
Do you know what I think the problem is for me? Sorry to just jump in. I feel like if I was 14, I would have been all over that. I feel like it's just that childish level of it from what I've seen so far, that I'm being like, right now I'm just like, eh. But if I was like 14, 15, I would be like,
take it
20 hours, watch it all in one instant kind of thing.
I have a single
show.
episode I pitched to people, and it entirely depended on their love of puns, so I can't do it with you.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm hard out.
Yeah, but once again, the episode itself really highlights what's so entertaining about the show, because
it's
you're
clever.
right, it's dumb, childish, and punny.
I like the old dude.
Yeah,
that just loves gold.
Yeah.
And this episode is about 2 bakers entering a competition, and then they're fighting to whoever makes the best bread. And like a little bit into the intro of the episode, a giant bread golem attacks them. And then the subtitles have puns. If you understand this much of French, you can tell that the French speaking in the background has entirely different and equally as hilarious puns
sort of puns
happening.
to it.
I just watched it in English, so he hates me for it. But I just want to throw that out there.
All right, look, we're going to start the whole subs and dub things. Do you have any recommendations, Ryan?
Okay, other than Wakfu season 3, which, I mean, if you haven't watched the first 2, then probably watch the first 2.
Yeah, just watch them.
I have been watching... Yeah, that too. I've been watching Salvation.
Speaking of reminiscing.
Now, you brought this up. What's
I have
Salvation
brought this
about?
up in Discord at least.
It's
is
about
a
Terminators?
newish Netflix series.
Yeah.
I think I did the explain good shows poorly thing with it. I kind of went like, it's like Armageddon if Elon Musk had to save the world.
That's what I remember you saying that.
So like
Elon.
you basically have the world destroying meteor heading towards Earth. Only a few people know about it in the world. They have to keep it a secret. There's the government conspiracy where people are like dying if they find out about it, and there's all that sort of shit. And then you have, I think his name's Darius Tans of Tans Industries, and he's the only one that gets it. because he has to cut through the government
So
bureaucracy.
it feels very much like, well, Elon Musk, you can also like to a more fictional version, like a Tony Stark.
Yeah, basically, a Tony Stark
They're
without
not the same
Iron Man.
person?
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk would love
If
to
we
be
were to
compared
ever
to Tony
see,
Stark.
if we were to ever see a robotic suit flying around, I can guarantee 99.9% of the population
Elon
will be
would-
like, "That is absolutely Elon Musk." Just an Iron Man flying along. Hey, it's Elon.
Yeah,
No doubt.
You know, and like along the chest, he's just got Tesla.
Just like his energy circle is a Tesla sign.
Oh my God.
I mean, the guy knows his stuff.
Anyway, like if you like that sort of the political government like conspiracy / the save the world / it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. The other thing that I've been watching, which is hilarious that it's even on Netflix, is Grand Designs.
Yeah.
Oh right,
I was like, this is on Netflix. I just started watching it.
You've always got to have a guilty show on Netflix.
I
always
think,
gotta have one.
I think it's not. It's for me.
Why?
I mean, I
Why
started
feel
watching it
guilty
when I
about
was
what
sick.
you watch?
I put it on when I was like, because I was like sick the last week or so. But like, I was at home and I was just like, push play. Oh my God, I could just like,
This'll do.
zone out and come back in and zone out. And,
Yep.
You know, like that was why I liked Grand. But I was like, Grand Designs is on Netflix. So there you go.
Also, I watched Annihilation. I think we brought that up in the podcast like 4 weeks ago. I watched Annihilation. It's really good. It's really weird, but it's good.
So what I want from our listeners is I want edgelord films to watch. Bring me more I, Frankenstein.
Like
Bring me more Underworld.
Bad garbage.
Bad supernatural guy. More Van Helsings. More Resident Evil.
There was the Nicolas Cage one I watched a few years back. I gotta recommend to you, but I can't remember the name
Is
of it.
it,
You will
I
love
don't know, Ghost Rider?
No, not Ghost
How about
Rider.
Ghost Rider 2?
Also not
It's
Ghost Rider 2.
scraping!
No. It's weird. It's like he's like a priest and he has to...
Is it called Priest?
No, maybe.
I don't think Nicolas Cage is in Priest, but
Is it called priest? No.
Actually, yes.
I would say, and that's all we got time for, folks. So,
Fuck.
Okay, let's wrap it up. So, for those of you that have listened this far, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed our ramblings. Please feel free to throw some of your nostalgia at us. Let us know what it is that you've loved growing up that you would love to see, whether it's a video game, whether it's a
Remade.
movie, whatever the medium, a remake of it, or
Or
a
if it's
remaster,
already
or
been
whatever the
remade as
case
well,
is.
like if it's-
Just let us know. Either comment in the video, or jump onto Discord.
Feel free to bash Adam about his PUBG addiction as well. That's always fun.
And weigh in on the PUBG
The world
versus
is with me, all right? The world-
weigh in on the PUBG versus Battle. What's it called?
Fortnite.
and what's
Fortnite.
what constitutes as copyright infringement?
Yeah.
Yes. We would love to hear your opinion on any of the topics that
For
we covered today.
unqualified people talking about copyright law.
We know nothing about law, but in our opinion,
I've watched Leonard French on YouTube. I know enough about law.
I watched it.
It's basically Bachelor, right?
I watch Boston Legal.
I've seen the new Daredevil. That's all about lawyers.
Anyway, thanks a lot for dialing in. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out some of our other stuff. We'd love to keep bringing you some cool stuff, but we would also love your recommendations on what we could do. So feel free to shout out what you'd like. Jump onto Discord, get involved in the conversation, and just hang out with us. We're very, very lonely people. Please talk to us.
I like being alone.
No, we've got a
Anyway.
little group there on.
Yeah, no, it's growing and it's really good. So just jump into the community. Wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Huh.